do believe in your paradigm, this is why I'm saying, in your paradigm, you do believe that God is inconsistent, silly, and can change, because in your Quran, you're affirming the previous scriptures. Your Allah is telling you that He is the God that revealed those scriptures. And then it's a completely different God in the Quran. That's why the more and more Muslims study the Bible, the more and more they affirm that the previous scriptures were textually corrupted, because they don't have another choice. If Islam has to survive, they have to delegitimize the previous scriptures, or it won't survive, because it's a major contradiction. Why are you affirming yourself to be a God that you're so different of, so different from?
What's the issue with his command changing?
It means God changes his morality,
I
which
no,
means God is not consistent.
I believe something is moral because God commands it. God doesn't command it because it's moral.
Okay, so when did marrying little girls become moral?
I don't believe Aisha was nine. I believe
This is
she.
not
I
about
think.
Aisha. I don't
Okay,
even
no
like
problem.
talking about Aisha and Muhammad.
No
I'll be
problem.
honest with you, because it gets very touchy-feely, right? But when did marrying little girls become moral?
I don't believe. I mean, I don't believe it is.
It's
By
not.
definition of what the word "little girl"
Sure.
entails.
Young girls who have not reached the years of menstruation.
Yeah, yeah, no, I don't believe it is moral, and it never was moral.
Yeah,
I
it's in the
believe
Quran.
the ayah which you're gonna state is talking about people who cannot menstruate.
Can you provide evidence for this claim, please?
Yeah, I mean, what evidence will you accept?
I mean, provide evidence for the claim you made.
Yeah, I can, but I'm guessing if I give you tafsir, you're not gonna take it.
Who am I not to take something that's from the Quran, as long as it's within the corpus of Islam and it's not from like 100 years ago? I like to go by the Salaf. I like to go by the true Islam.
I believe that the Khalaf were more knowledgeable than the Salaf. So, like, I would say the statement of Imam al-Razi is
Bring
more
it.
is
Bring
greater
it
to
up. Let's
me.
do it. Let's do it. Bring up the evidence.
I don't have Tafsir Kabir, but
You want me to look
yeah,
it up for you?
you can do, but I'm not
Okay,
sure
what
if
is
you'll
it?
find it.
Imam Razi,
Tafsir,
you said?
yeah, Tafsir Kabir.
Okay, hold on. First, let's see who is Imam Razi. And he wrote Tafsir Kabir.
Yeah, I think you can look at Qurtubi as well.
Okay, so I'm just looking this up because you couldn't provide your source. So I said, let's just affirm that I have the right guy, right?
Hmm.
So I said, who is Imam Razi in Islam who wrote Tafsir Kabir, right? And then it says Fakir al-Din al-Razi. Is that the one?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. 1149 to 1209 CE, was one of the most important scholars in classical Islam, correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
correct
why
time.
wouldn't
Yeah.
I take him? Like, that's weird, right?
No, because
It's in your
normally
corpus.
when I talk to like people, they normally, oh, I don't want to take the tafsir, so on and so forth.
No, I mean, if it's in the Islamic corpus, why not? So his famous work is Tafsir al-Kabir, and then Keys to the Unseen, which is Mafatih al-Ghaib.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's Sunni, he's Ashari, and his fields of expertise is Quranic interpretation, philosophy, theology, and logic and science. Okay. So his authority in Islam, he's considered a major classical authority, widely respected across Sunni scholarship, often quoted in theological debates and advanced tafsir discussions. But it says here not all Muslims agree with all of his conclusions. Some, especially more literalist scholars, critique his philosophical style. So I'm thinking maybe like The Salaf, like the Salafiyah, would probably maybe disagree with him because the
Yeah,
Salafiyah are
a lot of
more
them
literal.
takfir him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, that's fine. So let's see what he said about 65:4. It says Razi explains that this part of the verse refers to young girls who have not yet begun menstruation. He explicitly understands the phrase to include prepubescent females. Their waiting period is also 3 months. So he also notes that if a waiting period is assigned, a marriage did exist and it was consummated. Therefore, Razi acknowledges that the verse is used as evidence that marriage to those who have not yet menstruated is permissible. This was understood within the framework of Islamic jurisprudence.
And consummation. Does he speak about consummation?
Yeah, he's saying that if an iddah was given, that means it was consummated. But he has to affirm that. There's no way he can't, because in Qur'an chapter 33, verse 49, Allah says that if you haven't touched her, like if you haven't consummated the marriage, like if there was no intercourse, then there's no need for an iddah. So he can't go against that because that's explicitly stated in the Quran. No scholar can actually go against that.
I mean,
So
there is
no,
maybe he does.
no.
There is the opinion. I
Well, that
figured it
would be
was.
wrong because that would be an opinion that goes directly against what Allah is saying, right? Because He says it in 33:49, if you don't have intercourse with her, you don't need to establish an iddah. So if there's an iddah being placed upon a wife, that means that the marriage was consummated. That's why Razi can't go against this thought.
No, but you could say that this ayah is talking about someone who is unable to menstruate.
But that's not what Razi says.
Yeah, that's fine. There is that opinion does exist though. I thought it was Razi that held to it, but it may have been Qurtubi or someone else.
No, Qurtubi affirms this as well.
Okay, then I can't remember who holds this position, but that position does
So
exist.
here's the thing, right? And again, we can like talk about scholars and stuff. Most of the classical scholars of Islam across all four madhabs affirm this, right? But then also you would go to like the jurisprudence,
Yeah.
right? The consensus. This is what matters. What is the consensus on this ruling? And then also, like, even if you didn't want to take any of that, you got to take it to the Arabic of that verse. It's not saying that, women who can't, or wives who can't get their period, or wives who are sick or have hormonal imbalances. It literally says, wallahi lam yahidna, that they haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
So even the Arabic will affirm that this is talking about young girls who have not yet menstruated. So when did this ever become moral?
I mean, if it's under my paradigm, if it's in the Quran and it's moral, on this specific topic, I'm not too educated and I'll have a look at it, inshallah.
So you would think that marrying a little girl who has not yet menstruated is moral?
By the understanding of the scholars, which I am not aware of, I don't know the whole picture of it. If it is in the Quran, it is moral.
So in the beginning, when we started this topic, you said that it's not moral, it's immoral, and it was never moral. And then now that we're talking about your paradigm and your Quran, you're going against your own conscience and what your heart and mind actually tell you what's right and what's wrong, to say that it would be moral just because it ends up in the Quran.
Yeah, because my morality is the Quran.
So you think that a grown man sleeping with a little girl is okay just because it says it in the Quran?
I believe that, first of all, again, I don't know the actual, like, I haven't studied this topic. That's what I want to put that out there. There could be nuances within this topic that I have no clue of.
There is none.
My argument
It's
is whatever is found in the Quran, if it is mentioned in the Quran, then I believe this is moral.
Okay. So then I guess you also believe that raping SEX slaves is also moral because it ends up in the Quran, chapter 4, verse 24. Where women that
Military, I
you,
mean, yes, I believe it's moral.
yeah, so you believe that war captives
Yeah, it's moral, it's
that
moral.
are married and that you can rape is moral. Okay.
I mean,
So
I
now
wouldn't
we
use that.
have,
I mean, I wouldn't use
Oh, I
that
would, because the
terminology, but
consensus under Islamic law and understanding and all the scholars is that a slave doesn't have the right of consent. She doesn't have the right to say no to her master. This
she
is
also
grave.
has the right to free herself. And then
How?
if she cannot afford it, then she can go to the Qadi, and the Qadi will tell the master to free her.
Oh,
And
just like that? She's a
yeah,
war captive and she's married. But
yeah, and she can
in
go to
your
the Qadi.
paradigm, can you provide evidence for this, please?
Yeah, again, you can go to the tafsir of that ayah. Will probably
I
mention it.
have been. It doesn't exist. So she's a married woman. Her town is just, invaded by Muslims, and now she's a captive, and her husband was unalived. Her master has the authority to sleep with or without her consent. That's grape.
And
She's a
but if
married
she,
woman.
that's fine. If
Okay.
she
So
doesn't,
this concept, again, bringing me back to the point, I mean, your morality is none of my business. So your Allah, right, has you affirming abuse of little girls and rape of women, right? This doesn't exist in the Bible, right? This is why I always say, your God is not my God. Islam is not an Abrahamic faith. You guys are a fringe ideology, and you affirm the Bible when you need to give yourselves legitimacy. And then when the Bible bakes you, you turn around and say that it's corrupted, right? The things that we're talking about, this idea, this lack of morality, it doesn't exist in the Bible. In the Bible, if a man rapes a woman, he's unalived. In the Bible, Jesus said if you even think about defiling a child, then you are to hang a heavy millstone around your neck and jump in the deepest ends of the ocean. So we are to protect the society, the children, the women, the widows, right? So the morality is not the same. It's not the same God. So the truth of the matter is, and thanks for allowing me to have this discussion with you, God doesn't change. You just have a different God.
that's fine. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming. I don't know if
I
I can do this
appreciate it.
anymore.
Have a
Have a
good
good
one.
day.
All right.
Thanks.
Assalamu alaikum.